The Prime Minister's chief negotiator to Europe has warned Michel Barnier he will not be forced into publishing key plans for Britain's post-Brexit future. Brussels officials have urged David Frost to reveal proposals for the UK's state aid regime after the country transitions from European Union rules at the end of the year. Mr Barnier, the EU's chief Brexit negotiator, has been forced to abandon plans to keep Britain tied to the blocs system for governing tax breaks and state subsidies for private firms. But instead the Frenchman has refused to discuss any potential compromises until Mr Frost hands over the UK's post-Brexit plans. British negotiators, however, have resisted dancing to the EU's tune and told Mr Barnier he will not dictate any timetables. Downing Street is understood to be considering the publication of its subsidies policy in the autumn. A source said, "It will be on our timetable, not on one that's dictated to by the negotiations with Brussels." Mr Frost doesn't believe it is necessary for his EU counterpart to accept Britain's future state aid system. Instead, Boris Johnson's Brexit envoy wants to find an agreement around a dispute settlement mechanism to mediate any future policy deviations. Meanwhile, the EU is more focused on reaching a broad agreement for how subsidies could work in the future. The bloc has resisted allowing progress in the negotiations until the row over state aid is resolved. Last week Mr Barnier refused to discuss a draft free trade agreement put forward by British officials. And now he is said to be pessimistic at the chances of both sides reaching a deal by the end of the year. After a briefing by Mr Barnier, a Brussels insider said, "It wasn't very encouraging, there are no indications things are moving forward in even the most crucial areas." On state aid, there was nothing that supported an optimistic outlook for the talks. British officials are frustrated that Brussels is letting the more difficult and challenging areas to stand in the way of progress where there is more convergence between the two sides. Mr Frost and Mr Barnier are due to hold more informal talks this week.